This episode will be all about the German federal government strategy for blockchain. They released a paper this week, and guys, it's fantastic. Germany will make a huge step forward into a better world for blockchain, and I'll tell you why.
Welcome to The Blockchain Lawyer, a podcast on technology and law. Dennis Hillemann is an accomplished lawyer with over 13 years of experience and a passion for creating a better future through blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and other disruptive innovations. All statements expressed in this podcast are the opinions of the host and his guests only and are in no way legal or financial advice. And now, here is your host, Dennis.
Hello everyone, Dennis speaking. Welcome to the new episode of A Blockchain Lawyer. Very happy you tuned in because this is a really exciting episode for me. It's Saturday the 21st of September and I just got back from the EDV Gerichtskongresstag in Saarbrücken. It's a huge conference on digital solutions in the legal system, and I was part of a workshop with Jörn Erbgut, with Silvan Jongerius and Ulrike Meising on digital evidence. I gave a speech there on the legal backgrounds of that. And while this is also a fascinating topic, I especially liked what Silvan lined out concerning the blockchain possibilities in that field. I want to dive today into something else, and that is the federal government of Germany has released a paper on its blockchain strategy just the other day. And that is what I want to talk about today, because some people from my network, from LinkedIn and Twitter, they asked me, hey, the paper is only in German. Can you tell us what are the basic key elements of it? And even some of my German listeners asked me, can't you make a podcast on it? And that's why I sat down here today on Saturday to do that. And it's really a fascinating paper because, make it simple, Germany embraces the blockchain technology through it. And Germany says, we want to be a key player in the whole field. And especially we want to be a key player on the economic part of a blockchain technology. And while some people say maybe the paper doesn't even go far enough, I think it's such a huge step forward that we should absolutely look into it. So let's do that. And well, it starts with the introduction, in that Germany absolutely says blockchain is the future. The blockchain technology can absolutely change the internet of today, and we embrace that thought and we want to be a part of it. And that is why the German federal government put up the strategy, and it says, hey, here are our basic principles when it comes how we want to approach blockchain technology. And I just want to tell you the basic principles, and then we will look into the different projects and ideas that Germany wants to support on that field. The federal government then underlines what the basic principles of the German strategy towards blockchains are. And I think it's very important to know them. So here they are. First of all, they want to support innovation. Of course, if they support the technology, they want to support innovation. But they also want to strengthen investment. So there's already an economical part of it. We want to strengthen investment into the technology. Nonetheless, they want to guarantee stability with the blockchain technology, especially in an economical context. Also, though, as climate protection is a huge topic in Germany today, the blockchain technology shall nonetheless look into sustainability too. We'll get into that. The German federal government also wants to make a fair competition possible. I think that's a huge aspect in the digital market of today. And it wants to strengthen the international cooperation by blockchain and in the blockchain field. It wants to get all stakeholders on board when it comes to blockchain, not just the economical and political stakeholders, but also the civil stakeholders like the NGOs. When it comes to blockchain, the German government wants to guarantee the IT security and the privacy. And it also wants to make sure that modifications to the technology are still possible for the future. Let's just summarize that again in short words and keep this in mind when we're talking about the details soon. First, they want to support innovation, strengthen investment, then guarantee stability, strengthen sustainability, make a fair competition in the digital market possible. They want to strengthen international cooperation, get all stakeholders on board, guarantee IT security and privacy, and allow modifications for the future. What does this mean in detail? Then the German government lists how they want to do that, and they list possible projects for the future. We cannot go into all of them because that would grow this podcast into a very long episode, but we want to go for the key elements. And the first element that we will talk about is how Germany wants to support innovations and investments by blockchain technology. And the first and very great idea is that the federal government of Germany wants to make adjustments or openings of German law for electronic securities. The federal government aims to open German law for electronic securities. The currently mandatory specification of the documentary embodiment of securities in paper form should no longer apply without restriction. The regulation of electronic securities should be technology neutral, so that in the future electronic securities can also be issued on a blockchain. The proposed opening is initially limited to electronic debt securities. What does this mean? I think this means that we are really on our way now in Germany to a fully digitized stock market. If you look at the economy of today, 99% of all companies in Germany are small and medium-sized companies. And only a handful of companies, in a way, from I think the number is there's 20 million companies or so, and 20,000 only have access to the stock market. That doesn't come from the paper. I think that are numbers that I remember. In any case, regardless how high the number actually is, let us say that not even 1% of all companies have access to the stock market. And I think if Germany really makes this possible, that it really will allow for electronic securities, then we might go into a future where even smaller and medium-sized companies can issue securities on the blockchain and get into a capital market that might boost the economy. So I totally embrace that thought, and I hope you do that too. What else does Germany want to do? They want to prepare a law project to regulate the public offering of certain crypto tokens. They accept that there might be an economy in the future where every right, where every possible value is tokenized. And we don't only speak about property, we speak about the right to use something even without ownership, without transfer of ownership. We speak about the right for digital goods. We speak about the right to license things. The German approach is that they want to look into the laws, how to regulate the public offering of crypto tokens. And I think somebody Pomp would say, hey, Germany is on its way to tokenize the whole German economy. That's not true. The paper doesn't go so far yet, but we're taking a step there. We're taking a step into the tokenization of the German economy, and especially that Germany even accepts that there might be business models in the future that are based on the tokenization of any valuable right is a huge step forward. What else does Germany want to do when it comes to innovations and investment? It wants to create legal certainty for trading platforms and crypto depositories. What does that mean? Like the proposed regulation not only serves to effectively combat money laundering and terrorist financing, rather the necessary level of customer protection in the area of crypto values is also created, which is required in view of the expected increase in the spread of crypto values due to the market entry of large technology companies. What does it mean? Germany accepts that there will be a lot of crypto trading in the future, that possibly a lot of people will own cryptos, be it Libra, we'll get into Libra soon on this podcast, or be it other like crypto assets, crypto tokens. And what Germany wants to do is like create a legal framework that makes the whole market very safe for every player. Possible, like even not only for companies offering such services, but also for the customers who want to gain access to such crypto tokens and want to trade them. And I think it's a huge step forward that Germany says, yes, we are going to do a legal framework of it. However, and like to make this clear, Germany will not embrace Libra. I want to underline this because I just told the other day on my second podcast episode that I just got back from the OECD Global Blockchain Policy Forum. And the French Minister of Economy, he also said, France will not accept Libra. We say no to Libra. And Germany does the same. This is something very important. Germany will not accept Libra. And what does the paper say on that? The federal government will work at European and international level to ensure that stablecoins are not an alternative to government currencies. At the same time, the federal government will continue to expand its existing dialogue with the Deutsche Bundesbank, the federal German bank, on digital central bank money to explore the current state of development. Isn't that fantastic? Like they say, no, we don't want stable coins from the big technology player. No Libra. Of course, they don't speak about Libra in the paper. Let's make this clear, because that would be discrimination against Facebook. But they say, no, we don't want giant stablecoin solutions that endanger national currencies. But, like France, we want to look, isn't it possible for like e-money through the central banks? And I think even by saying this, we might be on the way to the e-euro, the digital euro on the blockchain. That's just my interpretation. Can't say if that's true, but to me, that sentence sounds a little like that. What else is there? The promotion of practice-oriented research, development, and demonstration of blockchain technology in the energy industry. With currently widespread blockchain technology, significant additional power and resource consumption can be associated. It is therefore to ensure that any positive effects of extending the application in terms of transparency and process efficiency may not have significant negative effects in climate and resources. So far, there is a lack of extensive market experience to assess whether the existing legal framework will allow the use of the technology and what negative consequences would be involved. That's actually a big point. Like what Germany says is, okay, blockchain can be a great thing, but it could be have a negative effect on the energy sector, because blockchain is very energy intensive, and therefore it could have a bad effect on climate protection, a huge topic here in Germany. So what we want to do is we want to put our effort into research and have a clue, have a true image of the field if blockchain is a climate killer or a climate saver. I'm using that title because some of you might know I wrote a big article on that topic on Medium. Go check it out, by Dennis Hillemann, Blockchain, Climate Killer or Climate Saver. And this topic here is taken up by the federal government of Germany, and they say, yeah, we need to do research in this. What else does Germany want to do? It wants to support innovative blockchain solutions in developing countries. And God, I love that idea, because this is an idea that actually, I think absolutely works with a Satoshi idea to help underbanked people with Bitcoin and to make a better world with blockchain technology. And so Germany says we want to support such third countries, so the third country world, when it comes to blockchain, because there we don't have a stable bank system, and blockchain can offer a big solution for the people there and make their lives better. And I hope Germany will really do that. What else would Germany do? They want to promote the research and development of effective governance structures for the application of blockchain technologies in the logistic industry. And so this is something I think most of you are already aware, and we'll get into this. Blockchain can play a big role in the logistics industry. I just published an article on Medium on how blockchain can change the logistics in the maritime economy. It's called Blockchain at Sea, the Perfect Wave. It's on Medium, go check it out. And Germany says, yes, in the logistics industry, blockchain can do a whole lot of good, and we want to look into that and promote the idea. But it's also, they want to investigate the use of blockchain technology for transparency in supply and value chains. Germany wants to create a pilot project, and in this pilot project, the federal government is evaluating how blockchain applications facilitate sustainable customer decisions through transparent, complete, and trustworthy information along the supply chain. Let me give you an example. If you go to the supermarket and take out some meat from the fridge there, want to check out, is this good meat? Then there might be in the future a barcode on the plastic around the meat, and you can scan that and you can see the whole way where this comes from which farm, what has been fed to the cow there. Is that is it really a good farm? Is it a sustainable farm? And while not this example is expressively mentioned on the paper, this is the kind of things that Germany wants to look into, and there are already great projects out there. And I think this is something that we all should be looking into. And I hope this will become true, because blockchain can really do a lot of good there. When Germany wants to promote the testing of blockchain-based verification of higher education certificates, and boy, I cannot underline how great I think this idea is. As all of you know, what are the key elements of a blockchain? It's transparent and it's secure. And certificates from universities, they can go on the blockchain. You don't need them anymore in paper form anymore then. You can just have them on the blockchain, and wherever you apply, whatever other university you go to, they can just check against the blockchain if you really have that degree. I talked extensively about that in my third episode of this podcast in Science and Blockchain, a great match. So I want to underline that you probably should look into that if that is interesting for you. Then the federal government wants to use blockchain application to support the rights of customers. They want to look, how can blockchain make what we buy more transparent? How, for example, can it show if this what I buy really sustainable, or will it create so much waste that cannot be used anymore, but it's bad for the environment? And I think that is something very, very important as well. Something that really, really was a highlight to me, what I really enjoyed, are two other elements. The first element is that the federal government of Germany underlines that national and international standardization of blockchain rules is very important for the economy. And I underline that because they explicitly name the German Institute for Standardization. And I'm part of a work group at the German Institute of Standardization. We're working on a blockchain standard for privacy field. It is called blockchain by privacy design. It's It aims into the field of how can you create a blockchain solution that protects privacy by the way it's designed. And the German government underlines that this is a very, very important topic, the standardization approaches of the German Institute for Standardization. So it makes me really happy that they put it into the paper. And what else makes me happy? They put into the paper very important sentences concerning EU GDPR. Some of you might be aware that the EU GDPR, the protection rules of the European Union, are in effect since 2016, and they at the first glance create a huge challenge for blockchain applications. I'll talk about this on this podcast in some episodes because this is really a very interesting topic that I'm working a lot with at the German Institute for Standardization. But the federal government of Germany says, hey, we don't actually see a problem. Yeah, we'll make a roundtable on privacy and data protection concerning blockchains, but we don't think there's actually like a huge problem there. We don't think we need to alter EU GDPR. And just by saying this, the German government, for me, personally says blockchain and EU GDPR, they are compatible. And that is very important because there are some people who said in general, no, the legal framework of EU GDPR is not compatible with blockchain. And so we're going there to the conclusion of the federal government, no, EU GDPR and blockchain, they are compatible. So then the federal government of Germany also says we want to check out if blockchain technology can be used for the digital evidence. That's just what I talked about at the Congress. Very good approach, and I can tell you a lot about that, but will not go into detail here for now. Then the federal government says that it wants to look into sustainable blockchain solutions. So probably every major blockchain developer in Germany should keep in mind that they should look into how can we make our blockchain application as sustainable, as climate compatible, if I can say it just in this like very untechnical sense, as possible, because climate protection is a huge topic in Germany. Also, Germany wants to look into the idea of using blockchain technology in corporates, like in corporate law. Maybe we can change a corporate law in a way where we could put corporates on the blockchain, where we could, like, the cooperation of people and organizations in a corporate form on the blockchain. Like, how cool is that? They absolutely want to look into that. They open up their like so important code of law. The corporate law of Germany is so important for the whole economy here. And they open that up to the blockchain technology. I think that is absolutely fantastic. And in the same context, they say, yes, we want to look into what forms of cooperation, international and national, might be possible with blockchain technology in the future. And that is why Germany also says we want to investigate the potential of an international arbitration board for cross-border applications. And I was thinking like, wow, they really want to do that? What does it mean? Cross-border blockchain networks can create new legal challenges, for example, in relation to the question of which legal system applies. A classic negotiation about a consensual one-dispute resolution is in the field of blockchain technology, in which the contracting parties usually do not know each other, complicated, and may not be appropriate. And that's why they want to create an international arbitration board for cross-border applications in blockchain. Like, how revolutionary is that thought? I think that is fantastic. And it also underlines that Germany understood blockchain technology is international. And whatever you do, you need to solve that on an international level. Also, Germany wants to identify opportunities to introduce accredited certification procedures for smart contracts. What does it mean? we want to accept smart contracts on the blockchain. We think it's a great idea. And we want to give people a way to certificate these smart contracts and their procedures. If they are good smart contracts, that is also a very, very good idea. And then Germany also, and now here's something that I smile a lot into, is in Germany, you got a lot of administration procedures where you need to go to an administration to show up yourself, sign something, and say, yes, that's absolutely me, by proving it with your identity. And Germany wants to look into the decentralized, or at least the digital ID, maybe on the blockchain. They want to look if that's a good idea, and they want to look if they could combine such administrational procedures with a digital idea, making so many administrational procedures so far easier for the people. And that is something I really, really like about that idea, about this paper, that they absolutely think the digital idea can be something great. I just talked about that in my second podcast when I'm referring to Elastos and Blockstack solutions. So even now, this is already in the paper of the German strategy on blockchain, and I absolutely like that idea. Also, the German government will look into the idea if it's possible to implement blockchain in the health system. And God, I love that idea as well. Because if you listen to my very first episode of this podcast, I talked about why I came into blockchain. Somebody very dear to me had to run to so many doctors and hospitals. And every time she had to tell her whole story again because her health data was not on the blockchain. And everyone nobody had like a central or at least a decentralized solution where they could go to and look into their data. Every doctor needed to see this whole story again. And now Germany opens up for the blockchain idea in the health sector, and that would change so much, and that makes me super happy that they do that, and I hope they will really do that. That is why, because in this context too, Germany wants to work with other international organizations to create international standards on blockchain, to create international open APIs, so that blockchain solutions and nationally and internationally can work together. And that will also be a great thing. For the public sector, Germany also underlines that blockchain can play a huge role. They underline again the digital ID of people, the decentralized identification. Perhaps that's something that is possible, and they want to look if it's possible to put the digital ID on the blockchain. And so that is also why they maybe want to create, or at least want to look into public blockchain infrastructure run by the state. But I know some blockchain enthusiasts, they are cringing now. They also say that there's a lot of discussion if the state should really run its own blockchain, or maybe just run nodes for public blockchains. So they're not saying as of yet, we create a federal blockchain in Germany, it's so-called the Bundesblockchain for the whole blockchain infrastructure in Germany. They don't say that, not true. They say it's good that some towns in Germany are already looking into blockchain for the public sector, and we want to promote that. But they don't they don't say we will create a federal blockchain. They just say we want to look into it. Also, Germany wants to support the idea, and there's already a great project, of a European blockchain service infrastructure. They want to support the idea of a European blockchain service that could especially be used, for example, for storing the data or the integrity and authenticity of high school certificates. That is, for example, a use case for such a European blockchain service. For the public administration, Germany says blockchain might be a possible solution, but it's not the only one. especially the federal government says, no, not everything will go onto the blockchain. When we as a central institution need to check something, if something is correct, if something is compliant with a legal framework, for example, when it comes to real estate trading, like the changing of ownership for real estate, when we don't think that blockchain might be the best solution. We're not saying we don't think blockchain might be a solution at all for that, but currently we say we don't think that blockchain is a perfect solution for that. But in the e-government idea of Germany, they think that blockchain can play a role, and they especially name even an administration application on blockchain, True Budget, but it's already been in use in Africa. How cool is that? They say even, hey, like in Africa, some countries are already using blockchain for the public administration, and that's a good thing. And I think that's also a huge step forward. And basically, they want to look like, where can we avoid for the future that you need to sign something in person by blockchain? Where can we look, what maybe could be digitized fully on the blockchain so that we don't need to sign everything anymore? Also, they want to check if there's a possibility of create safety tokens or security tokens for to make sure that something is true. Like they want to create they want to look into the possible developments of tokens that could guarantee that something in question, a certificate, a degree, is absolutely valid still, and that's possible a good solution as well. And then they want to look into blockchain in customs. In customs, you've got a lot of interaction on international level. It's very complicated. And for the whole idea of customs at the border, blockchain can offer a great solution. Again, look into my article on Medium and blockchain at sea. So there's a lot in the document. But basically, I think we can summarize that Germany wants to embrace the blockchain technology, that Germany wants to support the blockchain technology in the economical field, that Germany wants to support that we use blockchain, where we tokenize our economy where it makes sense, where we open up the capital market for small and medium-sized companies. And it wants to support blockchain implementation in higher education, in international and national cooperations, in the educational system, in the science economy, and in the public sector. So all this is just like a declaration of what we want to do. But already by doing this, Germany shows blockchain is the future, and we as Germans want to be part of this future. I like this idea, I love this idea, and I will support it fully too. So I hope this podcast episode gave you an insight where Germany is heading. It is heading into a better world for blockchain technology. Thank you, and until next time.
If you want to learn more about Dennis, please visit his website, theblockchain.lawyer, or connect with him on LinkedIn or Twitter. Until next time, everyone.